Hello, this is Solomon Davis, Right Side Trader. Today is April 18th, 2025, and this is my weekly trade review. We're reviewing this iron Condor trade. That's a 10 wide, 20 delta, 0-day options. This is all for educational purposes only, no trade recommendation, because as we all know, trading is risky. You can lose money at trading, so please check with your financial advisor. Please check with your significant other and make sure trading is something that is suited for you. This is all being done in a virtual account. This is me training my brain to be able to do this trade, live at this size. Right now, I'm pretty comfortable doing it with 1, 2 contracts, maybe up to 5 contracts and all. But I would like to get to where I'm doing it at least maybe half of what I'm doing here in the virtual account, because that would actually set me up pretty nice, and I can do it consistently. I can do this trade for a few more years easily if it can actually happen and all. But this is like I say, this is just a trade review, kind of like showing you what I'm doing. I've been getting a few questions and all, and I think I'm gonna make a couple extra videos on showing how I prep for this trade, what I'm looking at in the morning before the market open, how I'm looking at it, what I'm doing a .2 delta. I'm doing a 20 delta, so it's not that much there. But everybody doesn't know options. I'm realizing, some people are just learning this. They heard this before. I'm gonna show you the option chain. I know this is stuff that a lot of you guys already know, and all. And show you 0-day options. 0-day options, all that is, they're going to expire at the end of the day. There's no time to actually fix anything. There's no time to roll anything. There is time, but again, things don't work the way you normally would do this if you're having if you have more time. Not having the time, and with these Greeks and things moving against you or moving with you, it's a different game. So that's why you need to take the time to learn, to understand this trade, practice this trade, and just ask the questions. I've been doing this for quite some while. We used to do, me and a friend used to do this trade, when the only 0-day you had was Friday on the weekly options and all. And like even back then when one of them went, and we was always trading it, to the end of the day. We wasn't trying to just take 25% of the credit that we actually received. We didn't know any better, but most of the time, most of the time, that's one of the other things that I want to do. I want to look at how this again I'm in this trade between 9:30 and 9:35. That's the ideal time that I want to be into this trade, and I should be out of this trade before 11 a.m. Eastern. This is all Eastern time, but lately here, one of the things that has been happening, I've been in this trade maybe 10 minutes, a little bit over 10 minutes and all. And this is not happening, definitely not happening in the live account. And that's another reason why you practice this trade. You get where you see this trade, you understand what you could better understand what it's doing in the virtual account and realize this will not happen in your live account and all. But the thing is, what I'm also looking at though in the live account, sometimes I get filled, sometimes I don't get filled. But it does come to before 11 o'clock, I'm at that natural number where it's going to get me out of the trade. In the virtual account, what it's all doing, it seems like it's not filtered, and you get the option prices bouncing around a whole lot more, and it's filling me at mid. I used to try to fix that, and I might get back trying to fix that later, where I would just put an order to get me out at 50 cents or something like that, to get me out at a nickel. But sometimes you get some crazy movement where they're moving all the prices. The brokers or the market makers, they're moving all their bids and they ask out, and there's nothing left there. And you get these crazy prices that are out there in the market, and you don't get filled in your live account when that stuff happens, but in the virtual account, those orders are just getting triggered and filled. So that's one of the big things that I'm seeing happening in the virtual account that I know will not happen in the live account. So again, that's something that you need to be aware of and all, and you don't start thinking, oh, this was just working perfect in the virtual account, and then now it's not working. No, it's doing exactly what it's going to do when you got real traders out there actually trading, and somebody has to take your order. And in the virtual account, they just got it programmed to fill that mid. So these are things that you need to understand if you're practicing these things at virtual account. And then that's why again you should start off small, because the other thing is what I'm concerned about as I scale up in this trade. Will I start doing just like anytime you trading 50. Sometimes if you trade in 10 contracts, you end up getting a partial fill. It's all what's going on in the market at the time when you're placing your order. Especially me, I use limit orders. I do not use market orders. I've always I'm using limit orders. 99% of the time, I'm using limit orders. I'm not using market orders. So, and that's the other thing. So, and I get where I don't chase it. Once I get my order in, sometimes on one platform, I'll take whatever they're giving me as a price, and I usually go with that, and they usually get me filled. On the other platform, if I do that, sometimes they fill me, sometimes they don't. That's the whole thing that you're going to run into. You got to end up understanding how your broker kind of handles your different orders and all that kind of stuff too. So I know I rambled on a little bit about that, only because people have been asking questions about little things, But let's go ahead and get the trade review going and get this over with and show you what happened this week. Because again, the other thing is I'm showing some of these crazy times in here that will not happen in the live account. That's the big thing. And if I change it to where I try not to get filled and just watch this, and that's the whole thing, and just watch this thing. I was recording the time where I was doing that, but still at times I was getting crazy fills, so I would go back and I try to record the time, especially, and that's why I stopped showing the spreadsheet too, because again in the spreadsheet I am kind of showing what I'm documenting in the spreadsheet, and you are seeing what's actually happening on the platform, but it'll all be different. I'm trying to keep a better record of what actually happening and times on my spreadsheet than what's actually happening here. All right, but that's enough of that. Iron Condor trade was able to be placed on Monday at 55.20, 55.30 on the call side, 53.60, 53.50 on the put side, 20 delta played. And that was the other thing. I was thinking about, I've looked at a couple different other, I don't know, I looked at a couple different things, with volatility being as high as it is, a little higher than what it normally is, being above, our 20 and all. I was thinking about moving out to a point, maybe a 10 delta and doing this trade. Then I said, nah, I want to stick with the 20 delta. The 20 delta is good, is for me, based on their data and information that they provided, the people who did the study, that's good enough for me. I know it's not going to work all the time. I've ran into enough bad trades and all to know what I need to close it for, that $1, $2 max, and I can make that back. I can find other opportunities, other things in the market to make $1 back, with the same position size that I'm actually using. So that's not a big deal for me, Or if I've already, again, on this particular trade, it just didn't work, and the other trade, I just didn't make as much that day as I normally would make, and I'm okay with that, So that's one of the things that you gotta. That's one of the things that I learned, because I took a couple big hits, and I realized I can't do that, and that's ingrained in my brain. I know I can't do that anymore. So I've gone through it. It's been probably been over a few weeks now since that's happening, and I'm good now. I realize, okay, this is how I have to operate. Take a small loss and be done with it. But you have to. The thing is, I have to go through it to really understand it and see it, and realize, okay, because I want to see what can I do. Is there anything that I can do to work myself out of that trade? And I realized, yeah, there's some things that I could do and all, but it's better just to keep that loss small. And my other trades that I've done, if in the live account, if I'm trading live, it gave me maybe a break even for the day, or I'm still up a little bit for the day. And I'm okay with that, because again, if I'm able to trade, most days of the week, I'm okay with that. I'm definitely okay with that. And this trade is, if this trade is good for me, 60 to 70% of the time, 80% of the time, like you would almost expect, I'm okay with that. I'm definitely okay with that. Yes, I'm okay with that. All right, let's get back to the trade. The trade, yeah, it was put on. I got a $3.10 credit. Was able to close it for $2 and something cents. Was in this trade at 9.32. Out of this trade at 9.40. And the other thing, let me explain on the chart. These purple lines are the lines where that identifies the call side where I sold the leg that I sold, put side the leg that I sold, because I really want to see that, and all. Number one. The other lines that are on here are SVE pivots, and the dashed lines are my custom pivots. Custom pivot is just an opening line, a market range. The green lines are market range line. Let's see, yes. As you can see, it's a pretty tight range. And again, it's a range line for the time that I actually trade, and I trade usually up to about 11 o'clock on everything that I'm trading. Very seldom unless I might go as late as 12. But then around that time, I definitely want to get out and get a bike ride in, go to the gym, do some other things. So that's pretty much it. So that's it. Got all the stuff out of the way there. Now let's go a little bit faster. Tuesday, I was able to put that iron Condor on 54.70, 54.80 on the call side, 53.50, 53.40 on the put side, 20 delta, received a $3.20 credit, was able to close it with $2.20. Dollar on the trade, was in the trade at 9.31, out of the trade at 9.39. Like I said, I'm letting it go. So a dollar made that day. On Wednesday, I was able to put that iron Condor trade on at 54.10, 54.20 on the call side, 52.70, 52.60 on the put side, 20 delta, received a $3.30 credit, was able to close it for $2.20, $1.10 on the trade. Was in that trade at 9.37, a little bit later on. That was Wednesday, a little bit late on Wednesday, actually I stayed in it a little bit longer on Wednesday, actually getting out of that trade. And that's what it looks like here. If I corrected my times and everything right. Thursday, I was able to put that iron Condor trade on. That was yesterday at 53.60, 53.70 on the call side, 52.20, 52.10 on the put side, 20 delta. Received a $3.20 credit. I remember this gave me a nickel more than my limit order that I had out there, which I'm okay with. I'm telling you, and this was a live trade day too, because I was looking at and I was able to close it with $2.20. Was in that trade at 9.32. Out of that trade, I put 11 o'clock. This thing triggered. I remember I was trying to do some recording and where the market was at. I knew it was going to get, and I was trying to. And that's why I'm going to do some recordings and stuff to try to show. Because somebody else was asking about, again, if you're new at options, there's a couple platforms out there that has some good free training to explain options to you I don't like saying names and all, so I don't want to get myself in any trouble. And again, I don't know if I would get in trouble or not anyway, but there are some few platforms out there that have good free training. Again, a lot of them you do not even have to open an account. All you have to do is sign up on their site, without even opening an account, and you can get to their education. So there are sites out there, and there's a couple people out there who provide a lot of good information. Even on this particular trade here too. If you search, you'll find them. So that trade was this day was. That's why I put that time there. I know that's why that time is there, because I was in there and I saw it. I was watching it, but it did get down on this day. As you can see, the market stayed right inside the lines. This trade would have closed before 11 o'clock anyway, So that was that. But let's go ahead. That was pretty much it. Friday was a holiday. I got Thursday there again, And the VIX was kind of been up and down, but it's really in pretty tight range compared to what it's been doing before. 28 is the low, 35 is the high for the last 4 days. And as you can see during the day, it hasn't been. This was a crazy day right here, back on Wednesday, and this was a crazy day back on Monday where it dropped really kind of crazy, like the market wanted to go up, then it went up. The market has been good for trading, So good little scalp stuff, if you can call direction, right? I had one day where I didn't do a small loss, very small loss, on one trade in one account. So, but that's it. Getting off track again. But that's all I really want to share, I think. I think that's pretty much it. Hope this being helpful. And I'm going to throw out some videos showing a little bit more details of the... Oh, I didn't show that yet. Let me do that. Almost forgot. I usually show the numbers here. Let's go here and show the numbers. Monday, again, like I said, $3.10, $2. I might have put it a little bit different, but it's been all about $1. Collecting about anywhere from 90 cents, 80 cents to $1, and that's what I kind of expect. Usually below $1, but getting $1 on this trade is great, So, but yeah, 80 cents. I'm okay with 80 cents on this trade. Or like I say, and if it's going bad on me, take 20 cents on this trade and all. But as you can see, 932 in this trade, collected $3.10 out of this trade for $2, out of this trade at 944. In this trade at 931, got $3.20 out of this trade at 939. Again, like less than 10 minutes. And that's $2.20 and all. In this trade, this is Wednesday. I got in there a little bit late at 9:37. Got a $3.30 credit out of this trade for $2.20, a little over $1.10 at 9:43. In this trade at 9:31, out of it for $3.20 credit, closed it for $2.30 and all, and that was 9:44. And again, this is like I said, I put 11 because way the market was going at that time. I should have changed the time. I changed it on all the other ones. I don't know why I didn't do it on this. It was just that the market was acting funny and all. I saw the option prices going crazy, and I said, "Oh, this thing gonna get me out right away." As soon as because I didn't throw my closing order out there right away, or it would have been closed already. I don't know what was going on Thursday and all that had the market kind of spooked, and option prices just out there were going crazy. And that's the other thing with this trade right now. If you're able to get in. No trade recommendation, but if you're able to get into this trade and get one of these crazy fills and all, anything above $3, I think is really good and all. Because again, and volatility usually a little spike. Because again, what's going to help you as volatility starts coming down and all. And the other thing, you got time passing. So you got two things helping you on this trade. And the only other little thing you need to help is just stay in between the strikes that you sold, and then don't start approaching those things. And that's what's been happening here, this past week. Just like I go back here to Thursday. Thursday, this market was, this was volatility going up a little bit when you're trying to fill your trade. Ideal. This is volatility going down when you want to get out of your trade. Ideal. And again, that's why you're seeing me getting out of these trades early, because again, the way volatility is actually fluctuating around out there. That's what's causing this to happen. And let's go take a quick look at volatility. I'll do this since I'm doing this, and you can see it here. I'm gonna just go to Thursday here. I'm gonna go to this one day here. Volatility going up. That's your option price. You're getting filled with volatility going up and all, and then you're getting into your trade with a high credit, and then volatility is going down. Time is passing. You are able to get out of this trade for that easy 25% of that credit that you actually collected most of the times. And it's happened a few times for me now. But then look at here, the volatility went back up again, and that's the thing. You got to be careful about. Is this trade is things going really bad against me? You can see volatility going up and all, and going up. That's only 2 points, so it's nothing crazy. You're looking at the way I'm looking at this chart, it makes it look like a lot, but it's only 2 points. So again, back on your chart, you're looking at your price. Price is dropping, but you're at. And this is why I have these lines on here. This is my daily range line. And I'm seeing I'm going below my daily range type thing. That's getting kind of scary for me. But I realized my line that I sold in yesterday's low is way down here. I still have pretty good room. And way down here is 52.20 and I'm at 52.70. I'm still 50 points away. And the market that day probably was already down, 50 points. So is it going to move another 50 points against me? And after it already moved probably from here to down here, which is 70-some points. Well, it's almost 40-some points. And all, so it's down. Market might be down 90 points already. So now we're gonna be down 140 points for the day. Yes, it's happened this week. So that's one of the things you have to be careful about, and that's what you have to be looking at to realize. Okay, do I need to take a small loss, or am I okay with holding this thing and see what's going to let this market play out? And that's what you got to get. You got to get, again, I've been sitting in front of this thing for a few years, so I'm quite comfortable with seeing the market movement. I just haven't experienced this high volatility that often. It's only been maybe a couple of times since I've been trading. I got in the market in 2008, 2007, 2008, so I saw it back then on that drop. I saw it on the COVID drop, and I saw it just seemed like a year or two ago, and all with the one drop that we had. So again, but nothing, This is lasting a little bit longer than most, I think. And the COVID only lasted a few months. I think the last time it was only a few months. 2020, when this guy was in office before we had this crazy stuff. We kind of like I was expecting it. That's again another reason why I was looking to start doing this trade. I know volatility is going to be high. I know the market is going to be dropping. I know I can spread this thing out far enough where I can collect a decent amount of credit. And I should. And now the study that they also does say, wow, it made me think, wow, this is the way this thing needs to be done. And that's what I'm seeing, and that's what I'm doing, and it's working. You're going to get it's just a probability. Still, it's just a probability trade, and the probability of this thing being right based on the delta that you're selling is 80%. Ideally, So it's just one of those things. I don't know why I'm rambling on because I'm tired. That's why I'm rambling on. But that's it. That's all I want to share. This is Solomon, Right Side Trader. Hope you guys had a great week. Have a great weekend, and happy Easter for those of you that celebrate Easter. Have a good one. Bye.